What up? It's your boy Codename Duchess. We are here. I'm going to do a little dribble tutorial. Full disclosure, not a big dribble head. I have a couple dribble moves in my arsenal though, and I feel like they're really important, really good, and I'll show you how to get some of these done. We're going to do this with the controller layout, so I apologize if the video is a little grainy, but I wanted to make sure that I got the controller layout on the video for you to kind of show you exactly what I'm doing when I do this move. Especially that step back Hesi right there. Hesi and go. It is so deadly. And then a little cross. But before I do that, I need you to do me a huge favor. I need you to hit that subscribe, smash that like, follow us on Twitch, Twitter, TikTok. Let's go get it. Alright, so the first move we're going to go over is this Hesi step back right here. It just stops all your momentum and then you explode out of it. Your opponent will usually try to close that gap. If you watch the controller, we'll slow it down on the next one. So we're going to do the step back, and this is more of like the step back into a shot, and then we're going to release everything. And then we're going to hit the turbo again to explode towards the rim. So we'll do that again in slow motion. We'll do that again in slow motion. So see, we're getting that step back like we're going for a jumper, and then we're going to hit the turbo again. The sprint, speed boost, whatever you want to call it, and then we're straight to the rim. All right, here it is, Alex Crusoe doing it. You can do it with a lot of players. I would suggest you come in here and figure out exactly who you can do it with, because a lot of them are going to look different. If you can trigger it, you can do it either off of just the simple cross. I like doing the behind the back cross when I do this move the best. So that's going to be down and diagonal. Right there. You see how much, like it stops the defender and makes them close. And then you're crossing it right in their face. This is especially easy against on-ball defenders. You're going to see right here in this clip, he closed the gap to take away the three. If he closed with that corner, I'm kicking to that corner. All right, next up is going to be honestly my favorite move. My favorite move in real life. My favorite move in 2K for a while, and it's going to be the behind the back while you're on the move. And you can transition this if you do it. Like Wimby gives you a little bit more range. I can do it from like the top of the free throw arc. Most players, if you do this, like coming down, closing the gap between the top of the arc and the three-point line, then that's when you'll get this animation. One thing I do want to point out is that just because a card's a good dribbler doesn't mean that he's going to necessarily have a good moving behind the back. Like Kyrie here does not have a good one. So I have to use other moves when using Kyrie. He does have good other moves. I'll show you the Wimby one here in slow motion. Like I said, it's just a simple tap. You got to release the sprint button. But it's just a simple tap with your right stick, diagonal down to the opposite hand that you're dribbling with, and you should be able to transition into a smooth rest of your offense. I want to show you this. This is when it goes wrong. If you do run into a player, that will cut off that animation and you'll end up losing the ball. All right, next one is going to be the standing still spin. This is one of my favorite moves going back to last year. They nerfed it a bit this year, so you got to get to a standing spot. Turbo, spin the right stick, get into your spin. Here we go, we'll do it one more time. Turbo, spin the stick, release, turbo again to pick up your speed at the end of it. Here it is, one more. LeBron, turbo spin, turbo grit, and then somehow, although I don't have meter on to dunk, it transitioned to meter. I don't know what was going on there. But all right, so hold the turbo, spin, turbo coming out of it, dunk. This move, I'm going to say, is nerfed compared to last year. You can do it getting into jumpers. You can do it getting into dunks. But last year, this was like the most deadly move that I had in my arsenal. McGrady, LeBron, Giannis, it didn't matter. They would do this spin move and absolutely kill people. It's a lot weaker this year. I'll show you some changes to it that I do. You got to get the ISO, get the spin, going. Done. Dump our chest. Let's go. All right, so here we go. This is another one where you got to be important that you have a good player who does it. Jalen Rose's spin, for some reason, he like catches himself, touches earth. It's not good. So it's just not a good spin. He does have that counter, though. I'm going to show you that again and slow it down, because that's probably one of my favorite counters to do online out of the spin. So doing this in slow motion, because I know he doesn't have a good spin. We're going to hit the spin. We're going to do turbo spin. All right. When we come out of it, we are going to be pushing with the left stick to cross this defender's face. That's going to be the dribble move that we're going to use. It's not a right stick dribble move this time. This year in 2K25, they added in a lot of more direction control and dribble moves just using the left stick. So, Jordan Clarkson, again, not a good spin move for Jordan Clarkson. He doesn't create the space, but we get that crossover coming out of it. So if you don't have good spins, use that break coming out of it. All right, so we didn't get a good spin off of LeBron. We're going to get another one, though. He's going to call for the ISO, and he's going to get the spin. He's going to get by. He's going to get the foul. Like I said, not as effective as last year. Still a tool that you can use. This is, again, that's that spin. That's Kawhi's spin. And then he's going to, at the end of it, like I said, he's going to cross over his face. I don't have controller layout for online because it goes really slow, and I get a lot of lag. But that is that spin and then counter cross. All right, the next one is just a simple cross, just as you're going down the court. It was hard to exactly get it going in the freestyle, so I'm not going to slow any of these down, but it's just a really simple, full turbo all the way, cross. Just flick that stick, and when you have an opponent out there, it does a much better job of that animation of kind of like, it's honestly one of my favorite things to do in real life because I'm a big guy, and if I can get my shoulder on you, then it's done. It'll do a really good job of crossing and then getting your shoulder onto your opponent, and that way he can't come over for the block. I have a couple live clips of it here coming up. But here we are. We're just trying to, it's a lot of left stick and right stick to change directions and cross. So the left stick will give you a much slower cross. The right stick will give you that more explosive cross. Right, that cross right there was right stick. And that's what that'll look like. It'll look like that online. It'll look like that offline. That's just that left cross. It's much slower. It's not as explosive. Here it is him doing the right cross, though. He gets him with the Hesi. Again, that's that right stick cross. It's much faster. The left stick cross is good for just switching your opponent back and forth. Right stick cross right there. Avoid the steal. Get into the body. I'm going to show that one again. So right here is when right stick cross in the middle of the drive. Get into that body. Stops the shot blocker. Works out really, really well. All right. That's the dribble moves. That's what I use. Like I said, I'm not a big dribble head, so I just have a couple simple moves. But if you're not very good at dribbling or you need just 3 or 4 moves. Because, I mean, really, the guys who stand up there and they're like left, right, left, right, left, right. Just stand there in front of them. That's all you got to do. They're not going anywhere. If you've ever played basketball, the guy can stand there and dribble and do all that all he wants. Watch his waist. He's not going anywhere. Watch his player. He's not going anywhere. He's going to eventually try to explode out of that. But all that movement doesn't really do much for you. There are some really good dribblers out there. Don't get me wrong. But most of the guys who are just flicking the stick back and forth, they're not going anywhere. These moves will take you somewhere. They're not complicated. They're not overly convoluted. They will get you where you need to go. They will get you buckets. All right? So, hope that helps. Did you do me a huge favor, though? Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe, smash that like. Follow us on Twitch, Twitter, TikTok. And as always, I hope y'all have a good night, and I'll catch y'all next time.